Now, back here in Jacksonville, we want to show you tonight why City Council members are fighting to clean up downtown's best-known park, Hemming Plaza. It's right on the doorstep of City Hall, and for years the city has been struggling with the homeless population in the park.
The City Council committee is now working on making some changes, including banning card playing and removing tables and chairs. But how bad are things in the park? During the past year, Channel 4's Jim Piggott has been documenting things that have happened to him while he's been reporting from Hemming Plaza. He is now joining us live. Jim, officials say what you are about to show us illustrates why they believe changes need to be made.
Tom, these are just some of the examples that I want to show you why the city is so concerned here. Hemming Plaza is a little empty right now, but I'll tell you, I work out here all the time, and one time when we were out here working in actually one of our newer live trucks, someone came along, took a brick, and threw it through the window, smashed it. They didn't stop there. They also took a piece of paper, lit it on fire, stuck it underneath, tried to burn the truck while our photographer was inside. This is just one example of what's happened down here and why the city says they need to clean this up. These are pictures I took after a homeless man at Hemming Plaza in downtown Jacksonville threw a brick at our live truck. He then tried to set it on fire while our photographer sat inside. Officers from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office responded immediately. They grabbed the man and took him away in handcuffs. What'd you do to our truck? You have something against us? Now watch this. I was interviewing a woman in Hemming Plaza on an unrelated story when this man started yelling at me, then chasing after me, even though I asked several times to stop.
I'll be calling the police. Call the police. I am the police. Yeah.
The man kept on, and I kept trying to walk away. Then as I was finishing up the story with my photographer, he starts spitting on us. You don't see him do it, but you can hear him. Again, the city is looking into that. Were you rolling on that? That man just hawkered on there. According to security, the man was inside City Hall harassing several employees. JSO came and banned him from the park. Now, these are just two recent cases involving us, but police tell us it happens all of the time at Hemming Plaza. We checked and found 83 documented incidents from September 2011 to September 2012. The cases range from assault to intimidation to making threats. As a city reporter, I'm here every day checking on issues inside Jacksonville City Hall. It's not unusual to see homeless or unusual to see some people acting inappropriately, like this woman who was just shouting obscenities to random people as they walked by her.
You know, enough is enough. You see me setting up these new cameras, high-resolution color cameras, because guy was breaking into my car again the other night.
Restaurant owner Jerry Moran has complained over and over to the city. He says he's just about had it and may move his restaurant from downtown.
I cannot understand why the city, after all these years and after all the screaming and crying that I and other people downtown have done, they won't clean up the front steps of City Hall. It's a disgrace.
The City Council knows there's a problem all too well. In fact, a special committee made up of council members and homeless activists are working on recommendations to change the park. They want to make it safer for visitors and offer some programs for homeless. They're also considering getting rid of more trees and removing tables around the park so people won't hang out. JSO is also handing out citations like this to some homeless that they say are causing problems. Councilman Reggie Brown says the citations, which comes with a $25 fine, just don't sit well with him. He hears from people who believe they are being harassed just for walking through the park.
I'm really concerned about the treatment of the individuals that visit the park. There's a misconception that it's just homeless people.
But Brown admits there is a problem that needs fixing.
So in this park, you have individuals that hallucinate, they attack individuals, and it's all the time. And so that's why we have a need for law enforcement. But instead of ignoring the problem or just starting to arrest folks, I don't think that's the answer. I think we need to invest in the problem, and having a day shelter would definitely be the solution.
That's what the Jacksonville Mayor's office wants to see happen in the next few months. Karen Bowling is the mayor's administrative officer. She says the city is looking at several sites near downtown for a permanent day shelter.
Not everybody in Hemming Plaza is homeless, but they choose to spend a good part of the day in the park. And so we want to offer an alternative, you know, from services like mail and showers and laundry, and then again to capture some of the things that draw them to Hemming Plaza.
We asked what a day shelter would cost. Right now, no one knows.
JSO Assistant Chief Michelle Cook took us on a walk through the park. She says the problems in Hemming Plaza are nuisance crimes.
Do you think the city is talking about opening a day shelter? Do you think that will make a difference down here, in your opinion?
No. I think what the city needs is what Sheriff Rutherford's been proposing, which is a remote misdemeanor release center in a remote part of town. The challenge we have with a lot of folks is when they're released from jail and they have nowhere else to go and they have no support system, they come right back over here and continue to engage in behavior that's not necessarily desirable.
We talked with many people who use the park. While most wouldn't go on camera, they did tell me they probably wouldn't use a day shelter. Franklin Mitchell says he's homeless and comes here just to hang out, but thinks a shelter would make the park better for others.
It'd probably be a good idea.
Why would
Sounds
that be?
good. For people that work in the city to come in here and sit down and enjoy their lunch in peace, stuff like that.
Hemming Plaza is a gateway to downtown. People pass through the park daily to go to City Hall, the library, or federal court. The homeless problem is likely to remain there for some time. We took our video to Channel 4's crime expert, Ken Jefferson, and asked him to look at what was happening there. We asked him what someone should do if they are harassed or accosted in a park like we were.
But if you find yourself in a situation like that, you want to try to get away from that person as quick as possible. Contact 911, give them the information. Don't challenge that person. Try at best to ignore them, try to walk away from them. You did the absolute right thing by trying to just physically get away from this individual.
And I know sometimes that could be very difficult, and again, the city has been working on some of the plans. As for that man who really vandalized our live truck, well, we just found out today he was supposed to go to court tomorrow, but he has been found incompetent to stand trial. So it looks like those charges, at least for him, are going to be dropped. We're live from Hemming Plaza. Jim Piggott, Channel 4, the local station.
Jim, first of all, thank goodness neither you nor our photographer were injured in any way by what happened down there. Now, I know from your previous reporting that this day shelter that the mayor's been talking about is not funded and is a long way off, but the City Council Committee has been talking and talking and talking about these changes, including the ban on game playing. Where does that stand at City Hall?
Well, it's